Hello everyone, and for today's video I have a Super Saiyan 3 Burcol moveset build. Now if you didn't know, the first World Tournament for Xenoverse 2 happened recently. Of course that doesn't include the beta tournaments, but for this I wanted to make a build which was very reliable and what suited my playstyle perfectly. I'm sure this is going to change as we go forward, but for the time being this is what my, I guess you could call it my OP moveset looks like. If you have any moveset theme suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments and the best ones will be featured in future videos. So firstly I picked Super Saiyan because in my opinion it's the best awoken skill for melee based Saiyans. Well, at least it's the best one for me to use at the moment. Super Saiyan 1 for the fast regeneration of ki, as well as the slight damage increase, as well as being able to use the 5-hit combo for Super Mad Dance, and Super Saiyan 3 for when I need that intense damage increase in a situation when I can afford to have non-existent ki regeneration. Hyper movement because, well, I've said it before, it's one of the best evasives in the game, and it's only broken if you don't understand how it works. So basically, if you use an ultimate attack on your opponent and they have 3 or more bars of stamina and then they use hyper movements on you to break your stamina, well, quite frankly, you deserve it. I have Final Kamehameha as my main ultimate attack because it's one of the strongest beam ultimate attacks in the game. It may be the strongest one, and if used properly it will do a ton of damage. Mystic Flash as my second ultimate. I mean, okay, I know people will consider this cheap, but if you suspect that your opponent is going to use it as soon as you vanish, then simply block it, use After Image, Phantom Fist, or just try and move out the way, or better yet, equip Reverse Mebiku Senko so then you counter their counter. Do or die because it can be used as soon as you vanish or your opponent vanishes to send them flying backwards, while doing a tiny bit of damage as well as giving you a temporary buff which will reduce damage taken. After Image and Shining Slash because they were just 2 attacks that I would use constantly in Xenoverse 1, and those 2 attacks are now second nature for me to use, so it just makes sense for me to use them on a moveset that's supposed to be comfortable for me to use. And finally, Super Mad Dance because it's one of the best strike attacks in the game, and it just offers up a lot of different combo variations. And of course, here are the stats that I used for this video. So going into the first fight, and this was actually the first World Tournament fight I've ever had in Xenoverse 2. Well, firstly, my graphics card decided to temporarily freeze on me for a few seconds, so that's why here I'm just blocking because it just went black on me. But as soon as the picture did come back, I wanted to knock him away so I could have a look at what attacks he had and how to prepare for them. And here I unintentionally made him vanish, and like again I wanted just to knock him back so I could see what attacks he would use. So here I turned Super Saiyan 1, and the point of this build is to play as best as I can and not to necessarily try and be flashy. So when the situation calls for it, I can turn Super Saiyan 1 and then Super Saiyan 3 afterwards. So here I was expecting him to vanish as soon as he regenerated 2 bars of stamina, but he doesn't, so fair play to him there. We go into a small clash. I expected him there to try and rush into me, but instead he tried to use the throw, expecting me to rush into him. So then I turned Super Saiyan 3, and from this point on it's pretty much game over for him. Now he turned Super Saiyan 1 there, and I would have liked to have perfect blocked it when he transformed, because that would have definitely broken his stamina. But instead I just get him in a combo, sent him flying down and hit him with the basic rush volley. But now he transforms again into Super Saiyan 2, so then I dash in, break his guard, and then immediately use Final Kamehameha. But just in the nick of time he moves out of the way from being hit with the full attack. And you just saw what I did there. I perfect blocked it when he tried to break my stamina, and I can only just imagine the look on his face. So now he uses the desperation times 4 Kamehameha and boosts it up, so then I'll use hyper movement to break his guard, and now I'll just get him in a basic combo and then finish him off with Super Mad Dance. That was a very fun first fight, I will admit. But let's move on to the next battle. So this guy has 848 points and he's playing as his Frieza character, which is always nice to see. It's a shame because I haven't actually encountered one giant Namekian online yet. Seriously, not even one. Like, I hope that changes because they should be fun to fight against, but we'll have to wait and see. So I noticed right off the bat that this guy would vanish after every 2, 3 or 4 hits. So that's going to be very important as we continue this battle. So I send him flying there and hit him with the basic rush volley. And here he actually tries to turn golden, but I just completely stop him. I still have a very bad habit from Xenoverse 1 where I would unblock in a combo, then block immediately after to try and get a perfect block. but it's something that's very hard to do in Xenoverse 2. You can do it because I've done it a few times before, but the timing is extremely tight. Now this is a very cool moment coming up right now. He tried to go for this stamina break there, and I perfect blocked it and then broke his stamina, which I just thought was so funny and it looked very badass. So then I hit him with the final Kamehameha, and if I was a Super Saiyan 3 at that point, that would have definitely beaten him, but you know, he barely has any health now. And he hits me with the Stardust Breaker before I can break his guard. So at this point I need to finish the match as soon as possible. So I dash into him, kick him, and that's going to be the game. That was a very short but a very intense fight. So let's move on to the next battle. So now we're fighting Hype FIFA, and looking at his moveset, he's got Super Gadget Gun and Super Kamehameha, and it's kind of pointless having both of those because Super Gadget Gun can do just as much damage as Super Kamehameha, even more if you charge it up to the max. He also has Vanishing Guard as his evasive, which it can be a good evasive to use, but you need to have a plan with it. You need to have some sort of synergy if you're going to use Vanishing Guard. Baiting them into hitting you while you have that activated and then immediately using the 1-inch punch is very good for that. But again, it's something that wouldn't really work all the time. So now I have a decent idea on when he's going to vanish. I went for the throw there when he tried to hit me with the heavy charged up smash. He flies away when I use the basic rush volley, which I thought looked very cool. We go into a small clash, and then I turn Super Saiyan 3 because again, this moveset is meant to be like a competitive build, I guess you could say. I hit him here with a charged smash and I knew he was going to vanish, so I used Mystic Flash. And now he's going to turn Super Saiyan 3, and just in the nick of time I get in there and break his guard. And that's really going to be what the difference maker in this match is. So now, given the difference in both of our health and stamina bars, I can afford to use stamina to continue my combos. So here I go for the Super Mad Dance, which is going to do a very respectable amount of damage on him. And now this really sucks for this guy because he goes for the Super Kamehameha, but because of how much stamina I have left, I can just use the homing dash and break his guard that way. Now the MLG Explosive Wave misses, and my controller is about to die, so I need to finish the match off as soon as possible, and I do by using a second homing dash. So that was another very fun fight. I think the guy would have stood a better chance against me if he had a more diverse moveset. Having Super Kamehameha and Super Gadget Gun as your ultimate attacks, it's like having Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 as an ultimate attack in Xenoverse 1. Like, you don't need both, you just need one of them. So this guy was slightly annoying as he would continuously use instant transmission, but thankfully now in Xenoverse 2 it takes longer to activate, so you can just cancel it out by a swift punch. I caught him in the throw there when he went for another instant transmission, and then I tried to hit him with the basic rush volley and they all miss. So now I just get him in the basic light combo and send him flying back into the sun, and there he pretty much bounces off of the invisible wall, then sends me flying, and then he uses stamina even though he's barely got any to use to continue the combo, so it was just a very bad play on his end. And now I get him in the basic light combo, and before I send him flying back from the barrage of punches, I'm already charging up the basic key volley, so then I can hit him with a huge combo. And there he goes for the angry shout, which why would you do that for? I was expecting him there to transform anyway, and he did it, so I was going to finish him off with the final Kamehameha, but I think I was just slightly too slow. But I still broke his guard. I hit him with the 3-hit Super Mad Dance, then just dash into him, it misses. Then he goes for the final shine attack, so I break his guard that way and finish him off with the heavy stamina break. Now if he did actually hit me there with the final shine attack, that would have done a lot of damage because I wouldn't have had any stamina to vanish or to evade out of it. So thankfully I was able to break his guard in just enough time, and that's going to be game for me. Thank you guys for watching so far. There's one fight left, so with that being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.